A powerful winter storm swept across America's Midwest region during the 2025 Thanksgiving holiday period, with Minnesota and Michigan bearing the brunt of its impact. The meteorological system originated from the Rocky Mountain Range, drawing frigid Arctic air masses while carrying substantial moisture levels that generated intense snowfall, fierce wind conditions, and dramatically falling temperatures. Minnesota experienced weather that initially presented as rainfall on Tuesday afternoon before transitioning to substantial snow accumulation by evening hours, with wind velocities exceeding 40 miles per hour. These meteorological conditions drastically diminished visibility, created hazardous road surfaces, and severely complicated holiday travel arrangements. The Twin Cities metropolitan area, Duluth, and the Arrowhead territory recorded snow depths ranging from 6 to 10 inches, 15 to 25 centimeters, while certain interior locations measured accumulations surpassing 12 inches, 30 centimeters. Weather authorities from the National Weather Service declared a winter storm advisory spanning Tuesday evening through Wednesday afternoon, urging citizens to minimize travel activities and brace for temperature readings falling beneath 0 degrees Fahrenheit. Michigan's snowstorm manifested in dual phases. The initial phase unfolded between November 25th and 26th, delivered by a rapidly advancing Clipper weather pattern from western regions. Substantial snowfall blanketed the Upper Peninsula and territories surrounding Lake Superior, while lake-effect precipitation intensified conditions in zones neighboring Lakes Erie and Ontario. A subsequent phase was anticipated during the following week's beginning, initiated by polar vortex displacement that introduced exceptionally frigid air to the Great Lakes territory. Michigan's snow accumulation levels reached 20 to 35 centimeters across various regions, with peak intensity occurring along lakeside thoroughfares. These circumstances rendered Thanksgiving holiday transportation among the most hazardous experienced in recent memory. Both states confronted substantial infrastructure difficulties. Principal interstate routes, including Interstate 94 in Minnesota and Interstate 75 in Michigan, underwent temporary shutdowns resulting from numerous collisions and perilous roadway conditions. Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport documented over 150 delayed or canceled flight operations, while Detroit Metropolitan Airport registered more than 200 aviation disruptions. Mass transit networks likewise encountered interruptions, with bus and rail services experiencing considerable delays. Beyond travel complications, the winter storm precipitated numerous vehicular accidents. Minnesota state law enforcement authorities documented over 400 vehicle incidents involving collisions or vehicles leaving roadways within a 24-hour time frame. Among the most significant accidents occurred in the vicinity of St. Cloud, where more than 25 vehicles became involved in a multi-car collision on Interstate 94. While no deaths occurred, numerous individuals sustained injuries ranging from minor to moderate severity, with several requiring hospital transportation. Hazardous pavement conditions, reduced visibility, and motorists continuing travel despite warnings constituted the primary causative elements. Michigan's accident statistics proved even more alarming. State police agencies documented over 600 traffic-related incidents during the storm's first 2 days. One particularly grave accident transpired near Kalamazoo, involving an intercity coach that lost control and collided with protective barriers, resulting in injuries to more than 20 travelers. Within the Upper Peninsula region, a commercial truck capsized due to powerful wind forces and frozen roadway surfaces, blocking a major traffic lane for multiple hours. Furthermore, a chain reaction collision involving more than 40 vehicles developed on Interstate 75 near Flint, compelling authorities to close the highway for approximately 6 hours to facilitate rescue operations and debris removal. The snowstorm's consequences extended beyond transportation networks. Electrical infrastructure throughout portions of Minnesota and Michigan experienced disruptions from heavy snow loads and fallen vegetation. More than 50,000 residences in Minnesota and 70,000 dwellings in Michigan experienced power service interruptions lasting several hours. Utility company personnel worked continuously to restore electrical service, though the severe cold temperatures significantly complicated repair efforts. Educational institutions throughout both states suspended operations, and municipal authorities established emergency warming facilities to assist residents requiring shelter. This winter storm provided a powerful demonstration of infrastructure and community susceptibility to extreme meteorological phenomena. Minnesota and Michigan, despite their familiarity with severe winter conditions, encountered significant difficulties when the storm coincided with peak holiday travel periods. Thousands of travelers became stranded along highway routes, aviation facilities overflowed with frustrated passengers, and emergency response services faced overwhelming incident volumes. Climate scientists stress that changing climate patterns could amplify both frequency and severity of winter storms throughout the Midwest region, with meteorological patterns exhibiting increasing unpredictability. More comprehensively, this winter storm illustrated the interdependence of transportation, energy, and public service networks, demonstrating how a single extreme weather occurrence can disrupt multiple systems simultaneously. State governmental bodies now confront questions regarding infrastructure resilience enhancement, early warning system strengthening, and public education concerning travel risks during hazardous meteorological conditions. Traffic collisions throughout the snowstorm period in Minnesota and Michigan underscore the perilous combination of extreme weather phenomena and elevated mobility during festive seasons. In Minnesota, the multi-vehicle pileup on Interstate 94 near St. Cloud exemplified the dangers of underestimating travel hazards. More than 25 vehicles, encompassing personal automobiles, freight trucks, and sport utility vehicles, became entangled in the incident. Law enforcement officials reported that visibility measuring only several meters, combined with frozen road surfaces, prevented motorists from avoiding chain reaction impacts. In Michigan, a collision on Interstate 75 near Flint ranked among the most severe incidents. More than 40 vehicles collided amid heavy snowfall and strong wind conditions. Emergency response teams invested hours extracting casualties and clearing the roadway. Multiple victims sustained serious injuries. Despite the absence of fatalities, this incident contributes to the extensive catalog of accidents occurring during the storm period, with more than 600 documented statewide. This winter storm resulted from multiple reinforcing meteorological elements combining together. Frigid Arctic air masses descended into the Midwest territory, delivering extremely depressed temperatures. Concurrently, a low-pressure weather system classified as a clipper pattern from the Rocky Mountains advanced rapidly in an eastward direction. This meteorological system transported moisture that subsequently encountered the cold air mass, converting initial rainfall into heavy snow accumulation. In Minnesota, the transformation from rain to snow occurred swiftly on Tuesday afternoon, accompanied by powerful winds that severely diminished visibility. This situation was aggravated by precipitous temperature declines, rendering roadways slippery and treacherous. The National Weather Service issued winter storm advisories as snow depths exceeded 30 centimeters across certain areas. In Michigan, an additional contributing element to the storm involved lake effect snow phenomena, a meteorological occurrence wherein cold air masses traverse relatively warm lake surfaces, absorbing moisture before depositing heavy snowfall on adjacent territories. This effect resulted in the Upper Peninsula and areas proximate to Lakes Erie and Ontario experiencing more substantial snowfall than Minnesota. Additionally, polar vortex displacement during the subsequent week's commencement introduced an additional surge of frigid air that triggered a secondary snowstorm phase. Systematically, this storm emerged from the convergence of cold Arctic air, a rapidly advancing low-pressure system, and moisture originating from the Great Lakes. These three elements created optimal conditions for a major winter storm, particularly problematic given its temporal alignment with Thanksgiving holiday travel patterns. Another prominent accident transpired in Kalamazoo when an interstate coach skidded and impacted protective guardrails. More than 20 passengers sustained injuries, with several necessitating hospital admission. Preliminary investigations suggested the driver lost vehicle control due to slippery pavement and powerful lateral wind forces. Transportation safety specialists emphasize that this accident should function as a crucial educational moment for the public. Operating vehicles during snowstorm conditions presents risks not merely for the operator, but equally for other roadway users. They advise that individuals observe weather warnings, defer travel when feasible, and verify vehicle readiness before winter season arrival. The blizzard that impacted Minnesota and Michigan during late November 2025 constituted one of the year's most noteworthy extreme meteorological events. Featuring heavy snow accumulation, fierce wind conditions, extreme cold temperatures, and a succession of traffic accidents, the storm emphasized the critical importance of winter season preparedness. Transportation, energy, and public service infrastructure systems underwent maximum stress testing while thousands of individuals needed to modify their holiday arrangements.